Hi everyone. Today in this video we are going to discuss about the 5-fluorouracil. What is the mechanism, side effects and uses of 5-fluorouracil. 5-fluorouracil is one of the anti-metabolite which is useful in the treatment of various types of cancers. Particularly it is useful in the slow growing cancers such as breast cancer, colorectal cancer, ovarian cancer and gastric cancer. And this drug is a pyrimidine analog which acts as an anti-metabolite. This drug inhibits the thymidine synthesis in the cells, thereby it inhibits the DNA synthesis. So this drug is acting on the S phase of the cell cycle, and this drug is a cell cycle specific anti-cancer agent. So today in this video let us see how it acts as an anti-metabolite. First of all, let us see the structure of 5-fluorouracil. This is a simple structure of the 5-fluorouracil. And we know that the basic ring is the pyrimidine ring. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So fifth position it is on the fluorine. And this fluorine group is attached to the uracil. So this is a 5-fluorouracil. And we can write the chemical name of the 5-fluorouracil as 5-fluoro 1H-pyrimidine 2,4-dione. So that is a 5-fluorouracil. Simply it is a fluorine substituted uracil. And this drug is having the structural similarity with the another substrate, the dump, that is the deoxyuridine monophosphate. In the deoxyuridine monophosphate, uracil is present as a base which is connected with the deoxyuridine along with a monophosphate group. So the 5-fluorouracil as well as the deoxyuridine monophosphate are structural analogs. So they are going to compete with one of the enzyme on which the 5-fluorouracil can act and inhibits the enzymatic activity. This 5-fluorouracil needs some bioactivation, so it can be converted into a product which is similar to the DUMP. Here we can see that it is having the complete similarity with the deoxyuridine monophosphate with extra fluorine group. So this is nothing but the FDUMP, fluorodeoxyuridine monophosphate, and this conversion is mediated by thymidylate synthase enzyme. In this way, 5-fluorouracil is converted to FDUMP, which is then going to inhibit the thymidylate synthase enzyme, thereby it inhibits the thymidine synthesis. And along with the 5-fluorouracil, we can give the leucovorin. Leucovorin acts as a cofactor for the thymidylate synthase enzyme, so it is going to promote this enzyme so that the 5-fluorouracil is going to be converted into FDUMP, fluorodeoxyuridine monophosphate. Now let us see how this folate is going to be incorporated in the thymidine synthesis. Folate is initially converted into dihydrofolate by one of the enzymes, dihydrofolate reductase enzymes. These enzymes are responsible for the conversion of the folate to the dihydrofolate, as well as this dihydrofolate is going to be converted into tetrahydrofolate FH4 in the polyglutamate form by the same enzyme DHFR, dihydrofolate reductase enzyme. In this way, folic acid can be converted into dihydrofolate. Then this dihydrofolate can be converted into methylene tetrahydrofolate by addition of a 1 carbon unit. Here 1 carbon unit is going to supply the methylene group. Then this methylene tetrahydrofolate is going to be reconverted into dihydrofolate, where this CH2 group, that is a methylene group, is going to be transferred to the DUMP. Now the DUMP is going to be converted into DTMP. In this way, from the deoxyuridine monophosphate, deoxythymidine monophosphate is going to be synthesized, for which the methylene tetrahydrofolate is required. And this crucial step is going to be blocked by 5-fluorouracil. Now this is the structure of the dihydrofolate, FH2. You can see that the dihydrofolate is having the pteridine ring system, and what are the other side chain is simply represented with the R. Now this dihydrofolate is going to be converted into tetrahydrofolate by the enzyme dihydrofolate reductase enzyme. Now you can see that in the structure of FH4, one of the double bond is going to be saturated, and you can observe two hydrogens are attached. One of the hydrogen is with the nitrogen and another hydrogen is with the carbon. In this way, dihydrofolate is converted to tetrahydrofolate by reduction. And after this FH4 is going to be converted into another structure. Now this structure is having an extra CH2 group, that is a methylene group is present, and this methylene group is going to connect the two nitrogens. This is the 5th nitrogen and this is the 10th nitrogen. So this structure is called as N5N10 methylene tetrahydrofolate. So here methylene group is going to connect the 5th nitrogen as well as the 10th nitrogen. this N5N10 methylene tetrahydrofolate is also called as leucovorin, which is required as a cofactor for the enzyme thymidylate synthase. In this way, the FH4 is converted to methylene FH4 in this step, but where this methylene group is going to be obtained. So there should be some donor for methylene group. So here one of the amino acid serine is going to act as a donor for the methylene group. Now you can observe serine is having the one of the methylene group which is going to be transferred to this FH4 in order to convert into methylene FH4. And this OH group is going to be removed as a water molecule so that this serine is converted to glycine. And here one water molecule is going to be released. In this way, the tetrahydrofolate can be added with the 1 carbon unit so that it is going to be converted into N5N10 methylene tetrahydrofolate. Now this methylene tetrahydrofolate acts as a cofactor which is important for the synthesis of the thymidine from the uridine. So this is the deoxyuridine monophosphate which is going to be converted into deoxythymidine monophosphate. What is the difference between the uridine and thymidine? You can see that here extra methyl group is there in the thymidine. So simply the conversion of the DUMP into the DTMP is the addition of a CH2 group. Already hydrogen is there and one CH2 group is going to be added so that it is going to be converted to CH3 group. In this way, DUMP is converted into DTMP by transfer of the methylene group, and this reaction is mediated by thymidylate synthase enzyme. But here which is going to supply the methylene group? Methylene group is going to be supplied by the one of the cofactor already we have discussed, that is the N5N10 methylene tetrahydrofolate. So this is having the methylene group between the two nitrogens at the 5th and 10th positions, which is going to be transferred to the DUMP so that the DUMP is converted to DTMP. And this reaction is mediated by thymidylate synthase enzyme. So in presence of this enzyme, this methylene tetrahydrofolate is again converted into dihydrofolate. In this way, thymidine is going to be synthesized from the uridine by the action of the thymidylate synthase enzyme in presence of the cofactor N5N10 methylene tetrahydrofolate. But how this 5-fluorouracil is acting here? The 5-fluorouracil is going to block this key enzyme thymidylate synthase enzyme, thereby it inhibits the conversion of the DUMP into DTMP, and finally it inhibits the thymidine synthesis. But as we have discussed earlier, this 5-fluorouracil is going to be converted into F-dump. This F-dump, that is the 5-fluorodeoxyuridine monophosphate, can form a ternary complex with the cofactor, that is the methylene tetrahydrofolate, as well as the enzyme thymidylate synthase. By formation of this ternary complex, it can inhibit this thymidylate synthase enzyme, thereby it inhibits the conversion of the DUMP into the DTMP. Now let us see the side effects of the 5-fluorouracil. Just like the other anti-cancer agents, this drug produces the nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. All these are the gastrointestinal side effects observed with the 5-fluorouracil. And it can also produce some mucosal ulceration. Particularly, it can affect the oral mucosa as well as gastric mucosa. So, oral toxicity can be produced by 5-fluorouracil. That's why allopurinol mouthwash can be given in order to prevent this oral toxicity, because allopurinol is acting like a xanthine oxidase inhibitor. It can inhibit the uric acid synthesis, and when it is given as a mouthwash, it can decrease the mucosal ulceration. Similarly, another important side effect observed with the 5-fluorouracil is the loss of hair, alopecia, that can be observed commonly with the many of anti-cancer agents. Similarly, we can use the another side effect, bone marrow depression. This is again a common side effect observed with many of the anti-cancer agents. Many of the anti-cancer agents are cytotoxic in nature. They can produce a myelosuppression, that is a bone marrow depression, and this bone marrow depression can result in the neutropenia and anemia in the patients. And this drug can also produce one of the specific syndrome, hand-foot syndrome. This is one type of a hypersensitive reaction that can be observed with the 5-fluorouracil, which can be observed in the palm of the hands and feet. It may result in the desquamation, erythema, and pain as well as swelling in the hands and foot. How it is given? As this drug is going to produce a oral toxicity, it is not available by oral route, and this drug is given as an IV solution which can be given as a slow infusion. If it is given as a rapid injection, it may produce some myelosuppression, that is a bone marrow depression. So it should be slowly injected. And this drug is also available as a cream for the treatment of skin cancer by topical route. Bioavailability of the 5-fluorouracil. The 5-fluorouracil can be metabolized by reduction to one of its metabolite. So this is nothing but the dihydro-5-fluorouracil. And this reaction is mediated by dihydropyrimidine dehydrogenase enzyme, which is a reducing enzyme. You can see that the 5th and 6th positions are going to be saturated. This dihydrofluorouracil can undergo the hydrolysis, and by sequence steps it can be converted into F-ball, that is a fluorobeta-alanine. In this way, 5-fluorouracil can be metabolized within the body by the dihydropyrimidine dehydrogenase enzyme. And in few of the patients, this enzyme is somewhat deficient, which it decreases the metabolism of the 5-fluorouracil. Thereby, the levels of 5-fluorouracil may be excessively increased, leading to its toxicity. That's why the dose of the 5-fluorouracil should be individualized from the patient to patient, and the levels of the DPD, the dihydropyrimidine dehydrogenase, should be checked in order to assess the levels of the 5-fluorouracil. So that's about the 5-fluorouracil. It acts as an anti-metabolite, but it requires one of the cofactor, methylene tetrahydrofolate, which is also called as leucovorin. So that's why the combination of leucovorin plus 5-fluorouracil is given. And this drug is going to be converted to F-dump, which inhibits the thymidine synthase enzyme, so that the deoxyuridine monophosphate is not converted into deoxythymidine monophosphate. Thereby the DNA synthesis can be inhibited. But this drug is toxic. It can produce a bone marrow depression, oral toxicity, gastric toxicity, and it can also produce some hand-foot syndrome. Particularly in the patients having the DPD deficiency, this drug should be carefully given. So that's for today. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, share this video with your friends, post your comments in the comment box. Thank you for watching this video.